A versus C. Obviously, Dreamfire, Dreamstar, can they back it up though? Can they go back to back here and continue their campaign? If you do well really here in A versus C, it might even just relieve a little bit of pressure going into the second lobby today, Gino. So it might benefit them if they can actually start strong.
Yeah, it's a couple of teams with those strong starts. One of them last game was not Primus Commander. We were trying to work out who that team was that went down early. It was, in fact, Primus Commander at the hands of Popcorn, who used to be called Ath, of course, with PK landing at Big Maud, PK and Popcorn landing at Geyser. Not too much of a surprise, I guess, that they sort of ran into each other. Now that we get to see this next circle, Chicken Sandwich, once again, are going to get the option to play, you know, in the zone, essentially. But you can see that they're heading out of it. Of course, they don't have the information, unfortunately for them. Maybe they're guessing it's a little bit more of a north zone, and they're pushing up towards Epicenter. If they had this information, you can see they've sort of pinged out towards. Actually, well, no, I guess we're on Buriram. Well, depending on which team the person who's got the map open, someone's pinging that ghost town, being like, "We need to go scan this beacon." Unfortunately, they have not had that option in Chicken Sandwich, so they're actually going out. This could work out for them. Honestly, you know, we know that they're a team who can chase down people on the edge. So yeah, look, potentially still could be a good game for them. Either way, it looks like we're going to get one of those circles that finishes... Well, I think there's a good chance that it finishes sort of, you know, just north of the mountains there, below Fragment East. But it could go all the way into Fragment as well. We'll just have to see where this one ends up, Xenox.
Oh, we might have something here. Buriram United, they've already gone for an early rotation. They do have that intel on Fragment East. And guess what? The same can be said for PK, who had that early fight in the last game that we didn't quite get to see. This one we very well may see. They're pinched already. Popcorn behind them. You've got Buriram that may elect to push in front of them, but no one making the initial first move. And then you've got Chicken Sandwich with Strafe and Flame knocked down. So a whole lot going on early on here to start round one.
Wow, so the Adal Wolves have managed to grab that kill onto Strafing Flame. And they're still plugging away at long distance to the two remaining Chicken Sandwich players. And they're standing on top of his banner as well. So this is going to make it really hard for the Chicken Sandwich players, who are one of the, get it, 5 teams who don't have a crypto. So they can't grab this banner easily, you know, if you had the drone up and running. And that's going to make it a little bit tough for them. Will ADL Wolves... Man, I got it. The fact that their logo says ADL and their name is Adal Wolves is, look. It's causing me some problems, Enox. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, they're causing their own problems. Bottom 8 in the league standing, so... ADL Wolves need points, and right now with that kill on Straight Flame certainly will help. 3 agents, double crack here, Lahim, Vulcan both already flesh, at least crack back the other way will help them out. Bixie flesh as well, so triple flesh here for 3 agents. Bats would pop though for Lahim and Bixie. Good riddance on the other side of this. Well, they're obviously not doing all that much better. Wade is down on the floor. Bixie, they cracked again. But still, they're the ones getting the knocks. They're the ones getting these downs. And surely, they're the ones that are going to be coming away with the win here. They do. Good riddance. Gorm. But here come Boogie Borders. Rightly timed. They should be able to get the third party successfully here.
Yeah, that win is going to be pretty short-lived with Boogie Borders on the back of this. Lahim is absolutely legging it with the full time, with the passive there. Taking those shots. Bangalore trying to get away. Big Z, the crypto almost just sort of baiting for his teammate here, so Lahim can just make for the hills pretty much, because yeah, Boogie Borders right on top of these guys. That's an easy 2 kills for them, as they pretty much put an end to Free Agents' hopes for this games, unless they can get a late res, which they might. The circuit's coming in. Lahim can probably potentially play for that if he wants to.
Chicken Sandwich.
Yeah, okay. So the ADL Wolves, they've come up and finished what they started earlier. And unfortunately, they need to get this res onto Drauga because Ant is right on top of them. And it looks like they have an EMP coming in ready to try and start this fight off.
Legacy was able to successfully get that revive with a Drauga. And here come Ant Esports that do make the drop down. Oh, they're both cracked here. Draga and Heck. Legacy has a little bit of blue armor still left. Ant Esports definitely in the superior position here. This is not looking good at all for ADL. Fresh off of taking out Chicken Sandwich, they're out themselves. So it's 2 teams gone rather quickly. 3 squads gone all together early on here to start the opening round here of match 2. And Esports finding that one. And now they can start to make their way towards the southern side for them, towards Fragment East, which has had Popcorn make their way in there, along with GQ as well. Golden Sage close by, and still PK have not really moved from their sort of cabin position. Buriram as well, but they're triple purple. PK have got 1 white and 2 blue.
And by the looks of it, not a lot of shields to work with because they're actually pretty low down. You can see that Lahim did manage to grab the crypto banner there. Belkin, unfortunately, was too far away. Boogie Borders have legged it all the way to Lava Siphon. Looks like they might be thinking about doing some crafting over there. And yeah, they'll actually be... RTL is just ahead of where Boogie Borders are pulling in. They might have actually spotted that. I think Tilted Winnie here, she's chucking some pings over towards where Boogie Borders are. So potential for some action to happen between those 2 teams when they finally pull up into the zone. And man, I just got to say quickly, it's such a tragedy that Chicken Sandwich went all the way north when the eventual zone was going to be so close to where they could have ended up. They could have even just parked themselves in Ghost Town under that beacon, got the info, and then had a really good spot to play for later game. But unfortunately, you know, with the information they had to make a read, wasn't necessarily the right one.
And they would have had all of the loot as well in Fragment East had they gone there initially. There was no one there. And no one there for actually quite a bit of time as well. Would have been completely free. RTL on our screens, missile swarm sent out by Railed, but not really going to do a whole lot. And everyone is pretty much converging over towards the southern side of this circle as we are heading into round 2 now. Green circle centers up a little bit, but it is still largely going to be a Fragment East ending, or at the very least the cliff south of it, which is where Golden Sage currently locate themselves. Boogie Borders just hanging out over towards Thermal Stations still is free agents Lahim and Big Z. I don't know if they're going to make it back into this game, Gino. They're running out of supplies, running out of time as well. Obviously, you know, you give Lahim credit, goes for it to get Big Z obviously back into the game, got the ban up, but yeah, there you go. Lahim is going to be knocked, and I think for free agents, they are probably done for this game.
Yeah, they're trying to craft some med kits. They might actually be able to get back into this. I think once he gets those med kits underway, Xenox. We do have the same kind of questions about Boogie Borders, though. We just saw them using up some of their last med kits to try and get out of the zone because they were taking the shots from RTL. They managed to pull up into Geyser. They will be the ones trying to run through PK, who, as you said, had so little shields that they still haven't completely got their shields back in from what we saw earlier. By the way, they've just let Crusader's interception pylon go up, and they're using that to reset, and now just popping some shots over the top. There we go, as we expected. It is pulling into that sort of southern, the cusp of the mountains there. That seems quite likely to be where this circle will finish, not so much in the buildings in the middle of, you know, what used to be Capital City. So teams like Golden Sage are in a good position. It'll be pretty hard to hold there because those spots tend to be, you know, not so great earlier on in the game.
I won't lie, I've just been watching Lahim and Big Z for probably the past 2 minutes playing this game of medkitting and crafting and medkitting and crafting. At some point, you've got to also move. If you move away from the crafting station, but they've stacked up about 5 medkits onto Lahim now, but yeah, I'm still not sure. I'd say this is 50-50 they get back in, 50-50 that they don't. The good news for them, though, right, is that this circle for round 2 continued down south, right? It's not like it shifted up towards the north or anything like that, so that zone's not going to move all that rapidly. They could still make it. Everywhere else, though, on the map has definitely calmed down quite a bit. It has slowed essentially to a bit of a standstill. Buriram United have basically held this position, Genome, for the last 5 minutes, I would say. They got here really, really early. They know that PK are on the other side of the cliff as well. Yugi's been able to work his way up to purple armor through the Evo. Crusader's still white, but only 10 more damage, and he will join Hay on the blue.
Oh, DNZ's just about to bleed out. No, is he bugged? Okay, all right. Just trying to work out what's going on with DNZ there. The crypto seems to be in a perpetual state of downness. That'll be interesting to see how that works out later on in the game. Anyway, bugs aside, having a look at Boogie Borders here down on the southeastern side. As you can see, they didn't try to make it past Primus Commander, who sort of kept them out and actually tried to Evos up a little bit with the Rampart boosted scout. So they decided to make it through the tunnels instead. You can see they're very low on meds, which is why a lot of them are, actually all three of them now, don't have full health, basically, as they're trying to look to make their next move. Someone up to the north is Ant Esports, and they've spotted out 20th guaranteed. So it's a good chance, I think, that these two teams who look to be sort of playing edge this time might be coming up against each other. GQ, who they're pinging at currently in Fragment East. So a couple of teams, you know, again, you know, GS, Golden Sage are pretty much the only ones sort of in that middle area, because it's just not that great to play in. Everyone else is playing from Ghost Town, from Fragment, playing from, you know, the choke points in Geyser, and they're all going to have to move in, or at least a lot of them, in this next circle or two.
Watching a little bit there of Ant, they're all the way up north with 20th guaranteed. They essentially all have to push down into Fragment East and sort of further congest an already rough location that, of course, is not going to be inside of the next circle after this, going fourth round onwards. Side Esport may do from this position. Obviously, they've got a lot of teams that are sort of close by to them, Popcorn being the absolute closest. MDY White as well, just to their north. And you've got a couple of teams as well. Dreamfire, obviously out towards the western side with Dugu Play, who are kind of converging on each other at the moment. I think there might be a fight brewing just over there. Out to the west here of Fragment East, obviously. Fragment West itself, but on the outskirts of it. So we get a good little overview as to sort of what's happening here. MDY White, Popcorn, north side, you got GQ in there, and 20th guaranteed have successfully made their way into Fragment East as well.
Feels like we're about to get sort of a hot drop lobby situation over here in construction, because we've got Dreamfire versus Do Good Play, potentially even the duo of free agents about to pull up into this one. As you can see, Dreamfire did manage to get first blood, and now it's up to Eichel Only Noob and Bususe to make something happen here. Certainly, you know, I feel like construction is a place where you can get the 1v3s happening, if anywhere, because there's so much room to play around. But how much time do they have to do that? Not a lot. Next zone about to start closing in. Two of those kills have been fully finished off, and now really, Eichel Only Noob is probably going to be playing for the rat position here.
Doesn't have the banners either. Doesn't really have a chance to bring them back either. There's Boogie Borders now. Reiki. Cracked. We'll be able to pop the bat, though, back up to full armor. Golden Sage have been watching this, by the way, for Dreamfire, pushing over their bridge. So they do have eyes on that fight out of construction, and Azu has elected to pull back slightly. And then you also have free agents that'll be pushing in from that position as well. So out towards the eastern side for Boogie Borders. They're kind of looking for Bolin from DNZ, who's just hiding out in the Bloodhound. But a couple of teams to their south, they too, of course, have to move into that open area shortly. There's the duo for free agents. Lahim cracked immediately. Did some damage back the other way, though. Aju has got the knock onto Lahim. I think this might be the end of the trip for free agent. Behind you, Bigsy. Didn't check his left and rights. Ems has been knocked. Free agents are gone. Revival take place. Roy as well popping the bat. So Dreamfire will move on. They will live on, but it's going to be a tough push for them after this. From this bridge position, they have to push into essentially all of those teams coming out of Fragment East.
Yeah, well, Dreamfire, they don't lose 2v3s, they win 2v3s. Xenox, so it was always going to be a tough ask there for free agents. Really just, you know, giving them some more loot, giving them some more Evo damage to tick up. Someone who doesn't really need that much of that is Boogie Borders here. Now, they are playing a really good spot here where they've got a lot of cover under the highway. They've got the pylons and the fences set down for them. Ooh, Kraber shots coming out from Killer Pose. We saw he was the kill leader earlier on, and that's no wonder when he's hitting shots like that. I think they were onto Golden Sage, potentially, who's ahead of him, but Dreamfire actually pulling down from the north pretty quickly here. So Exo, I think they're also watching their back, Xenox. So you've got Dexter with the Skyward Dive. He's further down, and I kind of like this because if there's a play here, it's potentially to just wait this out from the southern side of the zone and then Valk ult over the mountains into a good spot as this next ring closes. I would like that play.
Say that, but where do you really land that's going to be safe? 2-2 tap on the floor. Big Boss will pop the bat. Medkit will follow shortly after. The revive will take place. Still 16 squads remaining, but really by the end of this next round, I can't imagine there'll be more than 10 as it gets really open area terrain. All these teams pushing out of Fragment East. This is basically where, quite frankly, Gino, we're just not quite going to be able to catch it all. They are now forced out of Fragment East. Everyone will basically be fighting everyone. Pete with a good slide gets the knockdown onto Shai P. That's going to be an easy win. Golden Sage are not going to be able to respond straight away. M's taking a lot of damage here. Pete as well. No health, only armor. The Dreamfire, like many teams coming out of Fragment East, are going to be struggling with this push.
Yeah, they do manage to win the fight. But have they taken a little bit too long? EXO made that rotation we were talking about. Then they took out 20th guaranteed and are potentially looking to clean up Dreamfire, who I think, unfortunately, couldn't make it through the gauntlet this time. It's EXO that come out on top. It's EXO who are going to be on top of all of these death boxes. Not within the next circle, but definitely in a good spot to stage an attack into it. Popcorn, we can see, are doing this, doing well here from the top. Just trying to see what's going on through the Bangalore smokes over here. Buriram, they're pretty good. They're actually looking to make the move into T4. And then EXO here on top of Popcorn.
Buriram have not found a single kill yet, despite their position. They do have essentially one of the more god spot locations. 5 squads remaining. We've lost 11 teams, almost make that 12 in the span of about 90 seconds. I would almost say you could put a counter on it and it might be close to right. 7 more shots in the Kraber as well for Killer Pose. 4 squads remain. We're not too surprised though when we saw these circle shifts out of the open area, especially with all those teams trying to find safe haven in Fragment East. This was easily predicted for us. Somehow PK still alive. Of course, they were on the other side of the cliff from Buriram United. So the 2 teams that are still alive, both teams that were sort of playing the cliffs early, and then EXO Clan, who have now got themselves 11 kills in this game, double purple plus legendary for Killer Pose, who definitely backed themselves in now to go get the win from here. 3 healthy squads remain.
Yeah, 11 kills there for EXO. They're the team that's been dominating, as you said, Buriram. They moved up from the Geyser Choke, well, the one above North Siphon, actually, and then made their way, and they cleared T4 out of the middle position with all of the containers, with the shipping crates and the bins in the middle there, so they've got a bit of cover, and it looks like this is going to be fairly close to where this circle ends, Xenox, so that means Buriram definitely in God spot right now. Not only that, but having the high ground to some extent means PK and EXO are certainly going to be making their way uphill here, but with the Kraber, anything is possible, and Killerpos seems to keep hitting shots on that as well. Can Buriram, can they do enough damage to these other 2 teams, force them into each other? That's always the plan when you've got these 3 squads left. Jack Cute there hitting a nice headshot for the 106.
Been a massive game for EXO Clan, but right now they are being shot at by both PK and Buriram United. Lala Bang watching the left side push, but EXO Clan have not been able to push anywhere at the moment. They're just trying to heal up, taking that free damage on PK and Acute from Buriram. I think they're making that push now though. They are going for that left side. Got Gaps and Lala Bang both watching it for Buriram. Double red and purple. They are well equipped for this fight. Darkstar goes out. It will miss pretty much entirely onto the side of Buriram. They are still fully armored up. Same with EXO Clan, but they've been able to get into a good position. But basically backfilling and coming in from behind is PK. They now are the third-party team. Out of all of this, Gino, they might be the team that might benefit the most.
EXO tried to get a high ground, but somehow it's forced to fight with Buriram. Buriram win that fight, but as a result, they've got basically no health left, and it's such an easy cleanup there from PK. I like the thought from EXO in terms of, trying to grab the high ground off of Buriram and not be the one sort of sandwiched in the middle, but unfortunately, they just went a little bit too close, and being in that proximity, Buriram sort of had no option